So when it comes to energy, right, energy, we are actually talking about where do we get our energy from, right? It could be electricity, or it could be, for some of us, it's natural gas. Those are the primary sources of energy. But when it comes to electricity, it could be hydroelectric, it could be from hydro, okay? But it could also be solar panels. And it could also be wind. Regardless, especially if you're on a solar panel grid, or if you have windmills, right, generating your electricity, even more so you're going to have to be careful with the energy consumption. Really careful, okay? I don't know if you watch shows. I love watching shows of people like that are, what do you call them? Off-grid. They live somewhere in Alaska, like in the middle of nowhere. They need to really conserve their energy. Like, they do the math, like, I can only have my lights on for so long because then I'm going to run out of battery, right? So, what you want to do is minimize the amount of electricity or energy, gas, and even water by a household. This is good for the environment and for your wallet, right? We're talking dollars here and that stay in your pocket. And so the key word is here, we want to be energy efficient. So I'm going to use a different color here to kind of make this stand out. Upgrading old equipment to high efficiency equipment is one of the best ways to make that happen. And what you want to look for is the Energy Star approved appliances or electronics, or simply the ones that have the HE logo. So it's either that logo there that you're looking for, or the Energy Star logo on it could be a fridge, dryer, anything that uses electricity or uses energy will most likely, you will want to look for that logo, right? So that's going to save you money. So how can you reduce it concretely above and beyond that? Okay, to reduce electricity, we can upgrade all the light bulbs to LED light fixtures. Using timers for outdoor lights, your block heater. You know what block heater is? It's plugging in your car. If you plug in your car, it's a block heater. You shouldn't have to, go ahead. Can I just say something about block heaters? Because this has actually happened to my brother's brother-in-law, okay? His house burned down a couple years ago. And it was traced back to block heaters. So they plugged in their cars in the garage. You should never plug in your cars in the garage. You don't need to. It's warm enough in the garage, like, so don't plug in your because sometimes those block heaters act up and they cause a fire. So please don't do that. The firefighters actually will tell you, do not plug in your cars inside a structure, okay? But use timers for it. Even if you do plug your car in outside, there should be a timer. It shouldn't have to go all night. Just get it to turn on 2 hours before you go to work. You're good to go. Installing switches like motion sensor switches, okay? Upgrade. So I had a nightmare when my kids were younger. The basement lights, they were on every time. I go down there, all the lights were on. Drove me crazy, okay? And they're not going to remember to turn them off, right? They're young. They're playing, and that's fine. So I installed motion sensor lights in all the rooms that they were playing in. So if they were in there, the light would be on. If they leave, I turn it to like 20 minutes. If no motion is detected, the lights turn off, right? So that's what I did. It's a fairly simple upgrade. You can do it yourself. Just look at a YouTube video, but make sure you turn off the breaker switch for that junction. Otherwise, you're going to get electrocuted. So please don't do that. Choosing appliances that are high efficiency. That's what you want to do. Look at this. My outdoor switch. I went from just a regular switch like this to a switch that has a timer built into it. So I can program this thing for my Christmas lights right now. It's going to go on at around 6, 5 or 6, and then they turn off at midnight. So you're not having them on the whole time. So these are all timers. These are motion sensors, switches. Here's what I want you to remember. Yeah, go ahead. Here's what I want you to remember, okay? When it asks you, when the province asks you, what can you do to save on electricity? Please don't say, turn off all the lights or turn down the temperature of the house. They're not gonna like that answer. They're gonna want you to install something that does it for you without even thinking about it anymore. You know what I mean? You could literally, you install this and you could not think about it anymore and it will just automatically save you energy. That's what they want. So keep that in mind. Keep going. So here are some things for electricity, to save electricity, right? Heating costs. I'm going to talk about this because one year they threw this at us and the students were like, what is geothermal, for example? So for heating costs, this is on 93. We heat our homes using natural gas, electricity, some cottages or... Go ahead. Go ahead. Jacob, you need to go too? Yeah. Go for it. Propane heating, like if you have a cottage or if you're like way off grid, some houses use the propane tank to heat their homes. Steam heating, that's like older homes or so, they have boilers, they have radiators, and they basically have a boiler that boils the water and sends it through those. And there's geothermal heating. Anybody know what geothermal is? Has anybody ever heard of geothermal? Yes. So geothermal, I'm just going to give you the very short lesson on it. If this is your home, there are pipes that go way down, like hundreds of feet underground. And they just go like this underground, okay? And then that water gets, literally there's a pump that pumps the water into the ground, way down, hundreds of feet. And then it comes back up, and there's actually heat down there. You think like -40, what? It's hot down there? Yes. If you go hundreds of feet down, it's warmer than up here. And so that's what it does. Geothermal is basically just a pump pumping water through a pipe way underground, and then it comes back up warm. And it reverses in the summer. In the summer, it's actually cooler down there than it is up here. So this can be used to heat your home. It can also be used to cool your home. Some people say it's not very efficient in Manitoba, and you can only reason why, right? Like it's super cold here. So for some people, I know people that say it costs them a fortune to keep it running. So not saving that much, but that's a way to heat your home. How can you save on heating? Upgrade your furnace to a high efficiency furnace. Upgrade your insulation in the attic and the walls in the basement. The key word is upgrade. Upgrade. Upgrade your windows to triple pane windows. Make sure they're Energy Star approved. Install a smart thermostat. Do you know what a smart thermostat is? One that isn't dumb, right? This is a smart right here. Maybe when you see it, you'll recognize it. This is a smart one, and this is also technically a smart one. So basically what you can do is you can program them. You can program them to turn on only when you need it. And the really smart ones, they keep track of motion in the home. So if they will learn this is kind of creepy, but they'll learn how the home operates. So if it sees somebody walking by at 6 in the morning every morning, it's going to be like, okay, I got to start the heat at 5:30. And if it doesn't sense anybody during the day, it's going to automatically just turn down the heat during the day. So it saves you money that way. You can install this yourselves. You just have to watch a YouTube video. It actually isn't that complicated. Windows. A lot of older houses have 2-pane windows. You want to upgrade to triple pane. So 3 layers of glass. And there's gas in between. Okay? How do you know you have a triple pane window? You got, this is gonna, some of you are gonna like this one. You grab your phone, you turn on the flashlight, right? And you go to the window, and if you see three lights, you can actually see it, like 3 lights, and you have a triple pane window. If you only see 2 of the lights reflected, you have a double pane. And if you only see 1, you only have a single pane. Probably not going to happen. I don't think any houses these days have single pane, but you should upgrade, okay? Also, use space heaters instead of increasing the thermostat for the entire home. So if you're just watching a movie and you're just in the living room, just have like a little space heater that heats that room, not the entire home, okay? I'm almost done. Water, that's the last one. So electricity, heating in general, and water. Anybody know where we get our water from in Winnipeg? Shoal Lake. But not the Shoal Lake that's, like this is the Shoal Lake that comes from like Ontario, right? That's where we get our water from. And did you know that there's no pump pumping the water to Winnipeg? It's all gravity fed. So it just flows from there to Winnipeg without a pump. So that's pretty cool. Okay. What was outrageous? I think it might be improved by now, but there was the is there a reserve right by it? Yes. So the people living on that reserve had to boil their water to drink it. And yet Winnipeg, we were drawing water from their lake, and we got to treat it. We don't have to boil our water, right? So it was like unimaginable, like how is that even possible, right? So I think the federal government stepped in and changed that. I'm going to have to update you on that, but yeah, we get our water from Shoal Lake. So you want to look for Energy Star for water consumption, Energy Star or WaterSense. This is the WaterSense logo right here. So toilets or shower heads or faucets, anything that has this logo in there will save you on water. How can you save water? You can use a faucet aerator. It is, the name says it all. It puts water into your, it puts air into your water, sorry, air bubbles into your water. Do you notice that when you have the newer taps, you open it, you see a bunch of bubbles coming out of the water? Like it literally looks like bubbles mixed with water. It's to save on water. If there's no aerator, it's just going to be full on water. You don't need that much water to wash your hands, okay? Here, check any faucets or pipes for leaks. That could be very expensive over time. Even a tiny leak could cause a lot of water to be lost, right? Backside here real quick. Check your toilets for leaks. And there's one more here. I thought there was a timer. I can't see it right now. But you can buy timers for to water your plants or your garden. So the best time to water your grass is what time? Anybody know? It's dusk, like in the early morning, like before the sun comes out is probably the best time to water. You save on water because there's less wind, okay? I think that's all I have to say.